If you're like me, sometimes you just don't know where to start. You've got a small collection going on over here, you got a small collection going on over there, you're trying to do little pieces of this and try and complete this set, and then over here you've got another set you're trying to complete, and all the while you're not really completing anything, or you're not finishing anything out. Well, that's how I am, and that's how I kind of operate. And so when I finally finished my base set Pokemon card collection, I was super excited. What I want to do today is just show you my base set collection. This is where it all began for me. So when I got back into Pokemon cards a couple years ago, I really wanted to collect the base set, just to have all the cards and to just look at them and sort of contemplate and think about times when I was a kid. So let me show you. This is my little binder here. It's just a 4. This is my little black binder, my little black book. Just kidding. This is my little black binder. It's side loaded and it's got 4 cards per sheet. And I went ahead and collected each card from base set in here. And you can see, like, these are all pretty, like, they're not super in the best condition ever. I actually intentionally kind of wanted to pick cards up that I felt like would have been in my collection when I was a kid. A lot of the cards from my collection were pretty dinged up, and some of them I actually carried into this collection. So it's actually kind of interesting to see what my cards used to look like. And so what I felt like would be right is to find cards that I think would be pretty beat up and played, because that's what I used to do, is play this game and beat these cards up. So this is obviously Alakazam here. Nothing too crazy there. This is the holo, and then we go right over to Chansey. You might notice that the starters aren't in here. I have all the starters. They're just in PSA slabs, so I'll show that to you later on. So you got your Chansey here, Clefairy here, and a Gyarados there. So this is just a great set, and it's actually not too bad to complete if you're just looking to grab pretty beat up versions of these cards on eBay. You just go on eBay and you go to ending soonest, type in Pokemon base set, and then just keep an eye on those auctions. If you do it later at night, sometimes you can find really good deals, because you'll be one of the only people online. But there's Hitmonchan there, which I've always really loved. Always loved this Hitmonchan artwork. I don't know why. It just really feels nostalgic. I remember there used to be a game on the Game Boy Color, I believe, which was a Pokemon cards game, and this was one of the cards that you'd use in the beginning of the game. And I think these are all in Charizard. These are all in Charizard sleeves, but so pretty cool. Just really nostalgic for me. This has always been a card that I love too. This is my PSA 9 of it. And actually, see how this foil pattern is like starry. I do believe that this is a Cosmos foil, even though it's not labeled so. This is the Cosmos Machamp. It looks to me, it definitely looks to me like it's the Cosmos Machamp. The way you can tell is, see those little stars? They aren't represented on this one, so this is definitely different holofoil pattern, more in line with like base set 2. And I think it came out a little later and it was a little bit more rare. So anyway, basically, this Machamp card I love because I remember going to Seattle represent. I have a lot of family in Seattle, and my cousins and my brother, we went down to Toys R Us in Seattle, and we bought ourselves the starter deck, which is the first Pokemon cards any of us ever had. I was probably like 5 years old or 6 years old or something like that. And that was just a really special time that I'll always remember. So that base set Machamp harkens back to those times, right? So there's Magneton there, and a Mewtwo, of course. Now the Mewtwo, if you pay attention to Mewtwo, sometimes the background is more blue or purple, depending on, I don't know what the variable is, but this is a blue background Mewtwo. So sometimes the background on Mewtwo can be a little different, depending on something. I don't know what. Sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's blue. You got Nidoking here, which love Nidoking because Nidoking was the one Pokemon that you just had to have in Red and Blue because of Horn Drill, and it was just a one-hit KO. I think it was, I think it was Horn Drill that you'd have, and that was just so broken. Absolutely just crushed the competition all the time. Then you have yourself a Ninetales, which when you pull a Ninetales from a base set pack, you're like kind of disappointed because you see those four fire energies at the bottom, and you're like, oh, Charizard, and then it's just a Ninetales. So it's not the best in the world, but a lot of people like Ninetales. Actually, I think Ninetales is based on some lore that there was some lore, and I can't remember what country it was a part of, but I think if you touched one of the Ninetales, you would die or something like that. It's based on some mythical being that had Ninetales. So obviously Poliwrath is a pretty common one to get. This one is nothing special, but you know, it's a base set holographic card, so I mean, they're all special, I guess. Poliwrath kind of gets beat up a lot. I mean, a lot of people don't love Poliwrath. I loved Poliwrath when I was a kid. In fact, I think at one point in time, every single Pokemon was my favorite Pokemon. It kept changing from year to year, it seemed. I always think about that, which is kind of funny. Right now I love Venusaur, and I've loved Venusaur forever, but sometimes I'd like a different thing, right? But Raichu, obviously, you know, you get yourself up to the market, you'd buy yourself a Thunderstone, and you would evolve your Pikachu if you were playing the game correctly, because Pikachu kind of sucks, but Raichu's really cool. So that's an unpopular opinion, but Pikachu, it doesn't suck. It's just Raichu's much cooler. Zapdos, super beat up on the corner there. Always found it interesting that Zapdos was the only legendary bird in this set. You have the Mewtwo, so you have another legendary, but you didn't have the legendary trio. And then other cards in here. I did put, so like this card right here, this is kind of interesting. So this is a 4th print. You can see on the bottom, 1999 to 2000. This is a 4th print Dragonair, which was a rarer version of Unlimited. These are all base set Unlimited cards. No 1st edition, no Shadowless. Nothing crazy like that. But sometimes I like to pop down here and just take a look at these. Just remember good old times. So I thought maybe we could just take a quick look through base set, and maybe, anything that jumps out to me, I would, share with you guys. But so Growlithe was really cool in the games too, because I usually would go with Bulbasaur, so I'd end up with Venusaur. Growlithe was pretty easy to get as your fire type Pokemon. I can't remember. I think it might have been Growlithe in red version, and then Vulpix in blue version. I can't really remember. Haunter's awesome. That line is so good. I always enjoyed Haunter, and you've got one of the only Pokemon that actually show up both in base set and fossil. So actually, I don't know if there are any other Pokemon that show up in both base set and fossil. So it's a pretty cool little thing. Haunter was definitely very popular. Kadabra, little weird, some weird stuff with Kadabra over the years. I think there was some magician that wouldn't let Pokemon print Kadabra cards for a while, and I think it's been lifted now at this point. But you've got Magmar, and I've always thought that Magmar had a butt on his face, so never a huge fan of butt-face Magmar. Then you've got yourself, if you're still watching at this point, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe, if you're still watching, and hashtag buttface Magmar in the comment section. I don't know if anybody will actually do that, but do it if you're still here. So we got Wartortle down there, we got Abra. Then you get to some of the commons, right? So you got Bulbasaur, Caterpie, Charmander. Everybody loves Charmander, everybody loves Charizard. Who doesn't? Charizard's cool. You got Doduo, Drowsy, which Drowsy was always, I would oftentimes end up with a Drowsy or Hypno, because you could get them pretty early on as well. Right next to Lieutenant Surge's gym, you could go off to the east and past where the SSN was, you could catch a Drowsy. That way you had confusion that you could use in the SSN, which is really nice. Very, very good times. But yeah, Nidoran. You could get a Nidoking so early in the game, because you could get the Moonstone in that first cave. Pikachu from base set. Nothing crazy there. Yellow cheeks, absolutely something that everybody had in their back pocket at one point or another. And then you've got yourself Squirtle, Ponyta, which it's really funny. There's a video, I think Leonhardt did a video last year where he actually showed you the pictures that all these Pokemon were placed into, and that was really interesting, really interesting. And then you get yourself over to Starmie and Staryu, which for whatever reason Starmie was above Staryu. They're both commons, and Starmie, I think just based on alphabetical order, Starmie ended up being in front, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, going through here, obviously you have all your trainers. Nothing crazy here. You have Imposter Professor Oak, which everyone loves to pull, or item finder. That's so heartbreaking when you open a base set pack and you end up with one of those trainers, because base set packs are just so expensive. But you got yourself Professor Oak. You've got Bill from Bill Nye. You know, obviously Bill Nye, who was right above Cerulean City, where you would go and get the SSN ticket, I believe, and a bunch of energies, so nothing crazy there. And then on the back of here, I think I just have some doubles of some different stuff. Other things that I have that I want to show you were just the more iconic cards, right? So you have yourself a Champ, which I showed you a little bit earlier, Cosmos foil for sure. I might see if PSA will take another look at that one and label it properly. PSA makes me mad sometimes, but anyway, Venusaur, so you got your Venusaur, and this right here, guys, is my favorite card of all time. It's the most iconic card to me. It's just, it's so classic. It's so classic. I one time, so this one is from my personal collection. I don't think it's the one that I had when I was a kid, because I think I ended up trading it to my uncle, but I actually pulled I went with a friend to a tournament in our local, there's like a hobby store in the town that I lived in Alaska, and we actually got some booster packs there. His mom purchased some booster packs for us after the tournament, and I went ahead and opened it, and he got like something non-hollow, and then I pulled a Venusaur, and at the time, you know, Bulbasaur was my starter. This was like super exciting. So I was super fired up, but his mom purchased the pack, so she was, you know, but his mom purchased the pack, so he felt like the Venusaur was really his, so he's like, you know, hey, you needed to switch packs with me because my mom bought these, and so this is my card. And I said, no way. So I put it in my binder, and then I went to the bathroom and locked it and faked being sick, and then told them that I needed to call my mom and that she needed to come pick me up. Miko, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But I told them that my mom needed to come pick me up because I was sick, when really I wasn't very sick at all. I just wanted to get home with my Venusaur. And then of course you got yourself a Blastoise, which my brother used Blastoise a lot in the games growing up, and Blastoise was really cool. This one's super played. PSA 4, nothing crazy. So PSA 5, PSA 4, nothing crazy at all. And then the big boy, the Charizard himself, PSA 4, absolutely beat to shreds, which is awesome. I mean, literally, like, it doesn't get much more nostalgic than a beat up Charizard to me. You know, a beat up Charizard, this was probably in someone's pocket. They probably threw that thing around, just dropped some ketchup on it when they're eating their nuggets, and then just picked the Charizard card up and then took the nugget and dipped it right into the Charizard. You know, that's probably something that happened. So anyway, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you so much for taking this little trip down memory lane. I really appreciate you guys coming out. This was just a super fun video for me. I love looking at this binder. I could do it all the time. I really hope to eventually start working on a Shadowless and a first edition set. I would think that would be really fun. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing some content about that. If you want to see some openings, go ahead and click the video on the screen right now. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.